Welcome back, everyone, to Jim's Well Done Guitars. I'm Jim Fusco, and welcome to another episode of the Guitar Bucket List. In today's episode, we're discussing my 2014 Gibson Les Paul Classic in Seafoam green. This was my first Gibson, my first expensive guitar, and one that I actually noticed on a trip to Sam Ash with my brother. We were walking through the store and there it was up on the wall, and I just looked at it and said, what is that? I had never seen a Gibson, I had limited experience, but I had never seen one with a seafoam finish like that you could actually see through to the wood grain too, with the natural back and sides that I really love. And I didn't know, again, didn't know a whole heck of a lot about guitars. I did not buy this guitar based on specs or, neck profile or what electronics that it had or weight or anything like that. I just wanted it because of how amazing it looked. And I know that they just reissued this in the same color, but it's actually a little different. This year's is a different version of the Seafoam. Personally, I like this one. When you get it just right in the light, it kind of, I don't know, it glimmers is the best way to put it. There's something special about this color, and they varied wildly. Some of them were just downright ugly when these were out back in 2014. But I remember that it was like featured on the Guitar Center ads at the time, and I kept a few of those ads just so that I could just say like, hey, look, I had something that at least at the time was pretty special. And then this one I picked out from Sweetwater. I think it's actually the only guitar I've purchased from Sweetwater, but it's it was the opportunity to pick out the top that I wanted. In this particular one here, it kind of has that like cut in the other direction wood grain style where you can see like the ringiness in here. There's a little tiny bit of flame down towards the bottom here, but I really loved that whole, like, it just looks like a real piece of wood look to it. Interestingly enough, the backside has a great, and I'm going to try not to hit anything here, but it has a great effect when you go side to side. The one thing I don't like so much is the like this white grain fill that they put in it. I think they probably could have used something a little better to match it. But I do love the neck. It kind of has this grain going this way, almost like they just cut it from an interesting part of the tree over here. Just really love that. And it does have the thin binding in the cutaway, so you can see the maple cap poking through over there. This was their 120th anniversary model year, and I gotta say that in terms of quality, it could be better. Again, I didn't really know much about it at the time, but there is some finish work that needs to be done. You can see that it was kind of, the lacquer was put over the fretboard and they didn't, scrape it off right towards the bottom there. This fretboard is extremely light, which I think they might have been going for with this color scheme. But I've tried to condition this thing so many times and it still goes back to that same color again. But for the most part, it's okay. There's just a couple little things here and there that I kind of say to myself, like, boy, they probably could have done a bit better of a job. Interestingly enough, I have to add something to the guitar bucket list because I didn't realize that this one doesn't have fret nibs. And that is, I know something, again, some of the stuff on this list is like, really, you need that? But yeah, I do, okay? It's like, so I really want fret nibs on a guitar, and this one doesn't have it, and they're actually touting it as a feature, that it was like extra playing surface, but that the frets were undercut so that they wouldn't go all the way to the edge of the binding. And they're right, you can't really feel it, the frets at all. But there are no fret nibs on this, which was probably a cost savings measure for them at the time. One of the features that this does check off of the bucket list is weight relieved. I did want a weight relieved body guitar. This is traditional weight relieving, and I'll be the first to tell you that it doesn't work. It doesn't do anything. This guitar weighs a ton. It's just so heavy. Like comically heavy. I think that they use nice materials, but if it's weight relieved, I don't know how they could say that, considering how heavy it is. And then some of the other things that people don't like about this series is all the funny stuff that they were doing with it. I mean, this one has a 9-volt battery compartment on the back. It has a switch down here that gives you a 15 decibel boost in your loudness, basically, for solos and whatnot. Some people really hate that stuff. If this was my only guitar and I really wanted something traditional, I would have probably gone against that too. But again, this is the only way you could get it in this color at the time. I don't hate it because I could just not use it if I don't want to. Once in a while, it does come in handy. And I have other guitars that don't have that. So this wasn't a big deal to have that on here for me. This does have push-pull electronics, so I think it does coil tapping. Again, of varying usefulness. I don't really love the sounds from that. I'd rather just use my standard Stratocaster and Telecaster guitars for those single coil sounds. And it does have the 120th anniversary banner on it. One of the other features that this actually does check off the bucket list, other than just being a Gibson, which was a big thing, is the nitrocellulose finish. This thing smelled amazing for a lot of years. It still does, but you really got to get up in there and smell it if you want to get that same effect that it had. But when I first had it, after I was done playing it, I mean, your hands would smell like that vanilla smell of that nitro for such a long time. I think it was a combination of the nitro and the woods and stuff, but just loved the feel of it. I love how this is going to have that bit of aged look as time goes on. Although, I've had this thing for just about 10 years now, and it looks brand new still, and it's gotten plenty of use from me. So the other thing that is going to probably get me some hate here on the internet is the fact that I must be the only person alive that really loves the robotic tuners, the mini tune or Tronical tuner system. I actually put one on my Gibson. It didn't come stock like this. I actually put it on my guitar. This is a great system because you don't have to drill anything. It just fits right in. It screws in and secures from the top. It's not destructive at all. Still have the original Keystone tuners and everything, but found the model that has the exact look. So from the front, you would never know. My problem with the Tronical tuner is that it's very complicated and unnecessary. Like what they probably should have done was just put a very simple kind of LCD screen on the back and giving you a few different options, drop D tuning, E flat tuning, open C, open G, and standard tuning, and call it a day. But it's very complicated if you get into all that stuff. But what I learned when I read the whole manual, and the manual is ridiculously thick, but what I've learned to repeat is just the standard tuning. And once you do that, I mean, it's like 2-3 clicks, and then you strum it a few times, it tunes itself up, and I don't have to tune it. I don't have to take my phone out, I don't have to make sure it's quiet in the room, I don't have to go over to my pedal board or any of that stuff. I just know that I'm always in tune. It's easy to charge it, and I don't know. I understand why there's so much hate for it because it could have just been done better, but I don't understand why there's hate for robotic tuners in general because it does make my life easier, and isn't that why we get anything to be automatic? And so if I'm sure there's going to be some people who've got a lot of opinions on the subject, and if you want to let me know, you can go right ahead in the comments. But for me, for this right here, I just, wanted a way to get this guitar in tune very quickly, and it works for me. I don't go out gigging a lot for 5-hour marathon gigs, so I don't have to worry about this running out of battery at an inopportune time or something like that. For me, this just was a nice upgrade for the guitar. So this guitar right here is one of those forevermore kind of guitars where, it's mine. And there's not one that looks exactly like it out there, which I love. Is it perfect? No. Again, it weighs a ton. It does have 57 Classic and 57 Plus pickups in here, which is on the guitar bucket list. I wanted those 57 Classic pickups. Loved how these are the exposed bobbin variety, the zebra kind. I like the look of the champagne speed knobs here. They call them like ultra speed because you can really turn them as fast as you want, apparently. Okay, so this thing has way too many options here, but we'll go through some of them. This is a quick playing demo of the Les Paul Classic from Gibson. Always thought it was kind of funny that they call this the Classic, even though it's got all these non-classic features to it, including the push-pull pots and this switch that adds a 15 decibel boost. So we're gonna do that switch off for now. And then we're just gonna do some tones with the full-on humbucker mode here in the rhythm. And then in the middle. And in the bridge. Okay, next we're going to do back to the rhythm, just a quick demo of what the kind of like single note sound is like a couple different ways. So this is just the humbucker mode and boost not on. And then if you do put the boost on, you can hear the difference. And then just for the heck of it, we'll take that off and just coil split. And a couple of chords on the coil split. Back to we'll go to the treble with the single notes and no boost. And then with the boost. And then for the heck of it, we'll split that one and do some chords. It's a lot of different options. It's a really great guitar. It's something that I love. I've loved from first sight and will always love. And so I hope that I've imparted some of that here to everybody today. And for those who really hate the robotic tuning system, well, sorry about that. But this has been Jim's Well Done Guitars. Hope you enjoyed the episode, and we'll see you on the next one. So at the end of 2 episodes, we've added 3 more to our list. So we're 6 out of 60 completed on the guitar bucket list. This one checked off the nitro cellulose finish, the weight relief body, and the 57 classic pickups.